The 30th annual WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament continues here from Time Warner Cable Stadium at the Uihlein Soccer Park in Milwaukee. It's the 2012 Division III Championship game as Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Co-op Lightning battle the Prairie School Hawks here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Hello again, everybody, alongside Ozaki Warrior girls soccer head coach Eric Lieber again. My name is Matt Menzel. Well, the Uihlein in their first ever state tournament appearance, one half of the Division III state championship game, knocking off an experience-filled St. Mary Central team in a state semifinal, and they did so beyond a hat-trick performance in overtime for Jamie Schnook.
That was quite a performance, and to go toe-to-toe with a stalwart like St. Mary Central, who's been here year in, year out, shows that that team has the moxie to be in the championship game. They're going to see Racine Prairie today, who has a dynamic offensive attack, two goal scorers of Annabelle Ware and Megan Wolf, and expect to see a lot of possession with Prairie and trying to find moments to use that speed in their offensive attack.
Now again, for the Lightning, Schnuck was able to score the game-winning goal in overtime about 3 minutes and 8 seconds on in. You talked about the Prairie School coming off their victory against Oostburg, who was also a newbie to the state tournament field. You mentioned the name Annabelle Ware. She scored twice. They were able to set the tone right from the get-go in that game.
And that's the type of team they are. They will attack you with speed. They'll find ways to get the ball into the attacking third of the field and build possession. And then they have the wherewithal to find the moments where they can slot balls to the far post or just use their experience to make the good shot.
All right, so the 2012 Division III state champion will be crowned coming up next as Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Co-op battles the Prairie School next right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Today's WIAA event is brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. You can change the future by driving safely in Wisconsin. Help turn over 500 annual deaths into zero. Zero in Wisconsin, a vision we can all live with. Rural Mutual Insurance, proud sponsor of the WIAA Sportsmanship Award. Citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. That's the WIAA Rural Insurance Sportsmanship Award.
Ware. Junior midfield, number 10, Melissa Rooney. Junior defender, number 11, Christina Dudley. Junior defender, number 13, Anna Gerteg. Junior defender, number 15, Megan Mullane. Sophomore defender, number 16, Carolyn Rooney. Sophomore forward, number 19, Megan Wolf. And starting in goal, sophomore number 2, Becky Kahn. The head coach of the Prairie School Hawks is Corey Oakland. Introducing the starting lineup for the Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Lightning. Freshman midfield, number 3, Breck Hayward. Junior forward, number 9, Susha Bandoin. Sophomore midfield, number 10, Abby Carlson. Freshman defender, number 12, Margaret Tovar. Sophomore midfield, number 14, Ellen Tyler. Junior defender, number 15, Mary Kirk. Senior defender, number 16, Brianna Steyer. Sophomore midfield and forward, number 18, Hannah Razutek. Sophomore defender, number 20, Lainey Fickow. Senior midfield and forward, number 27, Jamie Schnuck. And starting in goal, senior number 1, Kelly Swafford. The head coach of the Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Lightning is Jeremy Hedrick. Introducing your officials for the Division III Championship game, Mark Herdeman, Aaron Rickard, and Eric Ruffiner. The WIAA requires good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators at education-based interscholastic events. We request your cooperation in supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or ethnic comments, or other intimidating or taunting actions will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Please enjoy today's game in a positive manner. Please be advised that Time Warner Cable Stadium is a non-smoking facility. Smoking is not permitted in any part of the facility.
Welcome back to Time Warner Cable Stadium at the Uihlein Soccer Park here in Milwaukee as we get set for the Division III state championship game. The second-ranked Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Co-op Lightning against the Prairie School for this year's D3 title. A look at the Hawks. They have now 17 victories to their credit, 17 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie. They've won 10 consecutive, unbeaten in their last 14 games. They finished number 4 in those same final D3 state rankings. And the Lightning in the all-white first ever state tournament appearance with 20 victories and a couple of defeats. They've won 5 consecutive in 12 of their last 13. The Lightning out of the Midwest Classic Conference North Division, the Hawks out of the Midwest Classic South Division, but did not see each other during the course of the regular season. Eric, we certainly saw these two teams in action yesterday in semifinal play, and as we talked about during the on-camera open, the Prairie School dominating performance against Oostburg, another newbie to Division III state tournament field. Hawks able to score 3 in the first half to set the tone. As for Lake Country Lutheran, they played from behind not once but twice and eventually over the hump by overtime.
And for Prairie, when they scored early in the game. So the key for Lake Country Lutheran is to be able to withstand the first 10 minutes of this game and just sort of get a feel for how Prairie will attack against them.
Susha Bandowin along with Jamie Schnuck on the opening kickoff for the Lightning. Squad that has come into the state tournament. They have dominated the opposition. They have outscored their opponents 55-7. For the Prairie School with Hannah Carpenter. Coming over again for the Hawks was Christy Mackey getting the start. Kirsten Mackey in the midfield. Off the right clear with Ellen Tyler. Tyler coming into the state tournament tops on the team with 8 goals, 1 assist, 17 points. For the Lightning in yesterday's game, coming away with 1 shot. The Lightning had 12 for the game, 10 of which on goal. And a goal kick coming up as Becky Kahn. She'll start for the Prairie School. Kelly Swaffer, the starting keeper for Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School. Margaret Tovar, a freshman on that defensive line. That's kind of been the theme throughout this state tournament, too. It's been a youth movement this year, up and down all 3 divisions. Same thing for the Lightning. Yeah, they have 4 seniors. Yeah, they have 3 juniors. But this is a team that, on their 15-player roster, they have 8 underclassmen.
And I spoke to Coach Hedrick of Lake Country Lutheran before the game, and number 12, Margaret Tovar, is the player indeed that he was speaking of to be the strength in their defense. She plays a stopper position and is able to plug up the middle, read out situations of passes coming in, and knows how to snuff out a lot of things like that.
There you see Olivia Karagenis, a freshman midfielder for the Hawks, who was able to score a goal in yesterday's game. She scored the second, which came 8 minutes and 37 seconds on in. We talk about setting the tone, but, I mean, within the first 9 minutes, they already had pretty much put that game away.
And it's their style of play for Prairie. They challenge balls with their speed. They get in the face of the defenders, and they look to cause turnovers or just errant passes that then they'll win out of the midfield.
Carpenter on the one-touch feed from Melissa Rooney, who had a couple of assists yesterday. That plays a hop off the turf for Kelly Swaffer, the starting 5'8 senior goalkeeper. Came into the state tournament with a 0.33 goals against average. Did a great job in the team's sectional final victory against Aquinas. According to head coach Jeremy Hedrick, did a great job knowing when to come off her line, made great decisions, and came through with some big saves in the 4-2 victory. Mackey. An enormous hop-off the head of Abby Carlson, who had a couple of good first touches in yesterday's game. Ended up finishing with 4 shots, 3 of which on goal. And again, once the first half kind of settled down, the Lightning able to create even better opportunities in that victory against St. Mary's Central. On the through with Mackey. And again, right there defensively is Lainey Fickow, a sophomore on defense. Margaret Tovar back onto the attacking end for the Lightning. That's going to roll out. Throw in here for the Prairie School, back in state for the 4th time, looking for their first state championship. In fact, one of these two teams won their first ever Division III title. This year, number 10 of Division III. And for the Prairie School Hawks, they've been a runner-up 3 times in 3 previous appearances.
I like what I'm seeing out of Lake Country's defense. They're not looking to just clear a ball and send it up top, but there's a lot more thought to their passes. They're looking to use the space wide. Tovar, with her ability to range out wide off the dribble, and she's getting her head up to see if she can feed down line to Schnook.
Annabelle Ware, we talked about her during the top of the broadcast, coming in with 33 goals, 14 assists, 80 points, and then in the state semifinal yesterday against Oostburg, she would score goals number 3 and 4 for the Hawks.
And in that game, Oostburg was electing to just sort of try to contain her with space, and that was a mistake because Ware showed her ability to turn with the ball and to make some sharp cuts as the defender would possibly overcommit running onto a ball.
And she nearly single-handedly outshot Oostburg in that game. She had 6 shots, all of which credited on goal.
We mentioned in the opening, Matt, the good shot that Prairie looks for. They try to put passes down. I'm sorry, not passes, but a shot that is almost like a pass to the far post, making it very tough on the keeper to outreach and cover that entire goal.
That time Tyler was looking for Bando in as you check out Becky Kahn, the 5'9 sophomore goalkeeper. Came into the state tournament with a 0.92 goals against average. In yesterday's game, 1 goal allowed, making 3 saves. And getting knocked down was Margaret Tovar. She draws the foul against Kirsten Mackey.
And Mackey putting that pressure on the defense of the Lake Country team early. Again, looking for the turnover. It was just a little bit too much there and got the foul. But that's the pressure Lake Country is going to see all day, and they have to be able to keep their poise as they're shielding Prairie off the ball.
We'll say this. I feel like the Lightning, from what we have seen now here in the opening 5+ minutes, they look loose. They look like a team that is out there trying to have some fun. And right now, talking with head coach Jeremy Hedrick, this is just gravy. Considering that they weren't expected to be here, they didn't expect to be in this situation, battling for a championship, let alone their first ever state tournament appearance.
I think it's really impressive, too, when you look at the size of their roster, to be able to essentially go a whole season with 12 or 13 girls and then add a little bit of depth as you start to go into the playoffs. That says something about the style of play. They're not going to throw their body into harm's way, but they know how to create opportunities together as a team.
Melissa Rooney, and again, the Lightning trying to clear, and we talked about it yesterday. This was a team that there were a couple of games earlier in the season where they finished with about 10 players on the field. When softball season ended, they added some bodies. And in doing so, adding some depth, whether they had soccer experience or not, just having the ability to be able to go to that bench, 3 or 4 different players coming in now, just get some fresh legs out there, give some of the regulars some time to rest. Has been a big helper in helping this team here down the stretch. Coasted through the postseason, which they won all 3 of their playoff games by a combined score of 10-2.
And that really epitomizes what Division III athletics is all about. You're looking for a lot of your classmates to come out and be a part of your program. You're asking your student body to typically play 2 or 3 sports to be able to field teams and be competitive.
The Lightning trying to connect with Jamie Schnuck. See that right knee brace for Schnuck, sporting jersey 27, has been battling a sore knee. Typically we'll see short breathers per half. That was the formula for success yesterday. She would go on again and record the hat trick coming into the state tournament with 6 goals, 4 assists, and 16 points. Trying to knock it free from Carpenter. Tyler. Now the Hawks right back with Carpenter. That was taken away and controlled by Margaret Tovar. has snuck to her right side. Tovar looking to dribble around Megan Mullane, the junior defender. Here's Schnuck on the lead feed. Mary Hurt got tangled up, down she went, and she was battling with Mackey.
And we saw as Lake Country brought that ball into the attacking third. That was the style of play that helped them survive the St. Mary's game in the semifinal. It was sort of like the big dribble into space up the middle. Here we have a counterattack coming the other way, getting into the box.
Kara Jenis. And the pickup for Kelly Swafford.
So it's so important for players to be able to know when to dribble with speed, where you can have a little bit of a bigger stride and make it more of a running motion, yet the ball is always within a touch of 1 or 2 strides. It's so critical because the defender can't come in and try to just completely take the ball away. If they start to commit fully, you're able to sidestep them and continue your speed.
We saw Kelly Swafford a second ago coming off a 2-goal on 4-save performance in yesterday's semifinal, but again, kind of with the theme of the way the Lightning played in that game as it went on, got more and more comfortable, and again, it's just a game of soccer. You know, after the first couple minutes getting through those nerves, you realize you're going out there and doing what you've done all season.
And that was that poise you were talking about, that, you know, it almost looks like they're just playing so loose, and to be down some goals and in a state tournament and to find a way to battle back says a lot about not pressing the panic button and just playing your style and waiting for your moments where you'll have a chance to counterattack.
Thrown by Megan Wolf. Annabelle Ware. Out it comes to Abby Carlson, but right back toward the feet there of Kirsten Mackey on the throw now for the Prairie School.
What Prairie's really hoping for in this game is to be able to use the width of the nice wide field. They want to try to get in deep in the corners and cross balls in where Lake Country's defense is a little flat.
To see Abby Carlson looking upfield, will leave it instead for Schnuck. Schnuck trying to get on the right side of Mullane. Schnuck had that one blocked. That's off the hip of Anna Gartag, who is 5'10" junior defender. Gartag was right there to hip check it away after Jamie Schnuck came into the box and blew by the right side of Megan Mullane.
So there we see her specialty, her ability to dribble within 1 or 2 strides as she's looking to create her own shot. I really liked how that was set up out of the midfield with a nice lead-on pass to get behind the defense.
Had a couple of nice-looking goals in yesterday's semifinal win, a couple of which were unassisted. Able to tie the game up in the 42nd minute at 1. Was able to tie the game up at 2 in the 74th minute before the game winner, 3 minutes and 8 seconds in overtime. A goal kick by Anna Gartag. Wolf on the knockaway. She scored the first goal, set the tone for the Prairie School. 4:46 into the game yesterday, off an assist from Melissa Rooney. And now Mackey. Lightning throwing here for Mary Kirk. And part of a defense this season that has been outstanding for the Lightning, in which coming into the tournament only about 5 goals allowed, only gave up a couple more yesterday. A flat back 4 in front of Kelly Swafford that had recorded 16 shutouts. Now granted, one of those a forfeit, so officially from a stat standpoint, 15 shutouts here this season.
Well, if you want to test that defense, this is the ultimate test. Prairie with a dynamic duo up front like we talked about earlier. They put a lot of pressure on your keeper and defense, and they're patient as they attack too. They'll challenge the ball strongly out of your defense, but once they gain possession, they'll look for a quality shot.
I mean, there's no secret when you look at the Lightning roster and you look at the results here this season that this team relies on that defense, because from an offensive standpoint, last 3 games they have scored 3+, but during the course of the regular season, that only happened about 5 or 6 times. Only came in with a total of 43 goals this year, and again, their top offensive weapon has been Ellen Tyler with 8. Centering feed goes to Megan Mullane. Rooney, that was knocked away by Breck Hayward, a freshman in the midfield. Over on the Lightning sideline, Jeremy Hedrick, back now, second season with Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School, who last season was the number 1 seed in their respective playoff bracket, but upset in a sectional semifinal. They would go on and lose against Mayville. Mayville made their first ever state tournament appearance, but would fall victim with extra soccer in that semifinal. And Lightning able to come right back here this season and pretty much top 5 team the entire way, and able to get through that postseason with wins against Palmyra Eagle, Lomira, and Aquinas, who has been a regular at state. Beat those 3, and here they are. That's the bench for the Lightning and Jeremy Hedrick, the Lightning head coach. Going to see only 4 players that he can possibly choose from, 15 on the roster, and some of those in your picture, very little to no soccer experience.
And even though they have the inexperience, if they're athletes, like we mentioned, they came off the softball roster, you can find moments, even if it's 5-10 minutes here or there, they can make runs for you down wide, or maybe you ask them to man mark in the defense. Your coach is going to be able to find moments to use them and their athleticism.
Carlson will play it back off the left cleat with Ellen Tyler. And out it comes with Annabelle Ware. Here in the 15th minute. Still scoreless in this D3 state championship game. Out it comes Tovar. Now waiting back for the Prairie School, Melissa Rooney. That's going to stay in.
So even though that play was stymied by the Lake Country defense, you saw what Prairie was looking to do, that trying to hold the ball wide, and then they have a couple of on-runners filling at the top of the box. And if they can get inside position, then they're going to give themselves a quality shot.
That's one of the assistants for the Prairie School, Corey Oakland, just to his right-hand side. He is back as the head coach of the Prairie School, a UW Milwaukee grad. As the ball deflected out there to Breck Hayward. Change for the Lightning, we'll see Mary Hurt in. In fact, she's going to pick it up and throw it in. Sent upfield, but taken away by Megan Mullane, who has stepped in with Abby Fiegel earlier this season, re-injuring a knee, in which Mullane was able to step up and been a nice physical presence in back for Coach Oakland's team.
And for Prairie, they're playing with a deeper sweeper position. So as the midfield of Lake Country looks to slot balls, they're going to need to slot them diagonally or a little bit down the line, because otherwise they'll all be cleaned up by that sweeper position.
As Simons, a pickup for Kahn, but Gabrielle Simons is a nice assist getter. Had won yesterday's game with Jamie Snuck for the game winner, but on that cross back on that wing, coming into the contest, Simons getting right up there from a point standpoint. So it's set up here in the 17th minute. As the Lightning trying to get off to a quick start, did so, and the sectional semis, but the last couple of games, they've actually had to find themselves down and then play comeback. That going back to that sectional final against Aquinas, in which they were down a goal before scoring 3 unanswered by halftime.
It's nice to see a defense here being able to win balls out of the air and a willingness to do it. Sometimes that's just half the equation, is having the moxie to go up and win a ball. Because let's be honest, with the thoughts of concussions or the ability to go up and strike a ball with your head, it does hurt a little bit. But get over it. It's a part of the game. It's a necessary part of the game, especially on defense.
An opportunity for these two battling for a state championship, perhaps. I mean, there are no guarantees come next season, and you saw that bouncer right by the foot of Annabelle Ware. Sometimes it takes that one gamble that be your difference maker. Ask Madison West about that. We'll see them in the D1 state championship game. A team that, from a defensive standpoint, like to pack it in and just do what they can to limit the opposing opportunities. And every now and then do they take that gamble and move down to their offensive end and try to create something. Well, they've only taken 2 shots, and they have 2 state tournament victories.
And that's a style that works for them because they take a lot of pride in their defense. In this D3 game, we are seeing a nice open game between both teams. The difference right now is we're not getting the quality looks in the box, and that's a testament to the defense of getting their numbers back. Whether it's a free kick or a throw-in, they're making sure that they're clogging up those passing lanes and getting everyone marked up.
As we play on here in the 19th minute, you and I had this conversation yesterday, but explain the experience factor to a game like this. We have the Lightning. They've never been here, not really knowing what to expect here at the state tournament, where the Prairie School, you still have a number of players who are part of that team that lost a tough one in double overtime against New Holstein in the D3 title game in 2010.
I think experience helps a lot just to get over the jitters of the big game. And granted, both teams got to play on this championship field yesterday, so they do know the field, but the crowds are a little bigger. There's a little bit more online or at stake, and so experience helps quite a bit.
That seemed to be a concern coming in for a number of teams, was the way that ball would play off the turf, but for the Lightning able, for the most part, to play their style and make the adjustment when they like to play a shorter style of soccer.
Well, and we just saw there, so here's an opportunity where the keeper's going to come out and win a ball, but if you let it take that bounce, you have to read the bounce, and it obviously took a stronger rebound there than anticipated.
That by Kelly Swafford as Margaret Tovar with the upcoming goal kick. Here's the hopper.
So take nothing for granted. Get your body behind the ball, be sure of it, and if possible, win the ball before the bounce.
Over it comes to Allie Mueller into the Hawks lineup. Schnuck going right in there to take it away, and save made there by Hannah Razutek. Schnuck. And now Razutek playing it back out to Abby Carlson. Carlson back to Schnuck. Schnuck winds up. And that one bent a little too soon for Schnuck's liking, and a goal kick here for the Prairie School.
Schnuck not afraid to take those shots outside the 18, as we saw she wanted it there. She's a more dangerous threat up the middle of the field. When you get her wide, she's going to try and play a ball in, but she's not going to be able to move back into the box. So they want to find her centrally.
Oncoming was Razutek. Instead, Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Co-op will throw it in. Jamie Schnuck here in the 21st minute. That was knocked off the cleat of Mueller. Backing her up, though, was Anna Gertag. The oncoming pressure by way of Abby Carlson. Been pretty active over the last couple of days.
You know, we mentioned that experience factor for Prairie, and I would say for Lake Country, if you survive the first 15, 20 minutes of the game, you're sort of counterattacking that experience, and you did your job. And so Lake Country certainly did that. Now they should be somewhat comfortable with their opponent and how they attack and what they need to do to stay in this game.
Rooney. Karagenis. Has Annabelle Ware downfield. She's being marked up on by Brianna Steyer. Karagenis was blocked. Now Ellen Tyler.
And that was Fickow, who was playing the role of the supporting defender. She realized that as her teammate got beat off the dribble that she was coming in to help, and she was able to block that away.
See a look at Megan Mullane, who, as we mentioned, has stepped up in a big way from a defensive mid for the Prairie School Hawks under head coach Corey Oakland. Now they came into the state tournament by virtue of victories over Urozaki Warriors in the regional final. They knocked off Racine St. Catharines and then Brookfield Academy, a team that finished as co-conference champs with the Lightning over in the North Division of the Midwest Classic Conference.
I thought that was a really tough sectional that we were in, and so you have the likes of Brookfield Academy, Prairie, ourselves. It was strong from top to bottom, and just sort of a shame in a way that you had those tougher games outside of the state tournament.
So you obviously saw the Hawks' first hand in that first postseason game. And check out the foul there that went against Megan Wolf, knocking down Mary Kirk. You know, being that these two teams, really the only time they may have seen one another is in passing going in yesterday's semifinal action. Same thing for you, getting the opportunity to see the Prairie School for the first time in a couple of years. How do you go about preparing?
Well, statistically, we knew what Prairie was about and who their goal scorers were, but we didn't know how they scored. And so to see them firsthand, like I said, sometimes you need to measure your opponent in the first 10, 15 minutes of the game. And unfortunately for us, Prairie took it to us with corner kick attacks and follow-ups inside the box. By halftime, we're down 3 goals before we had it figured out, and we did find a way to counterattack and get some goals in the second half, but sort of ran out of time.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Over it goes now with Danielle Sales. Kept alive by Breck Hayward on the wing. She's showing some quickness in this state tournament. On the outside with Megan Mullane. Battling against Danielle Sales in the corner. And a goal kick coming up here as we play on here in the 24th, soon to be 25th minute. And a D3 state championship on the line for one of these two schools, which will be their first. Prairie School back in 2003 tied your Ozaki Warriors in the championship game, lost by way of a shootout during a 21-win season. Came right back the very next season, lost to Appleton Avery before they made the move up to Division II. That after they got revenge against the Warriors in a semifinal, and then 2 years ago, able to knock off St. Mary's Central to back in 4th state semifinal before losing by way of double overtime against New Holstein. That was a 17-win team for the Prairie School.
And sometimes you see that familiarity between programs. It can be, the history of it though can be lost on the players. Obviously, you know, they weren't there 7 years ago, 8 years ago, sort of thing, and from the coaches and the athletic departments, they appreciate the rivalries that sort of get created through the playoffs. But I think it's lost on the players, and perhaps they don't have that that background that we assume they would.
Well, as we mentioned, this being the 10th year of Division III, and today will be the 7th different Division III state champion over those 10 years. Only a couple of repeat champions, including the Ozaki Warriors, and last year's champ, a repeat, in Kettle Moraine Lutheran. Rooney, after she served it up, Karen Jennis. And it's covered up by Kelly Swafford. Karen Jennis directly in front after it was sent across by Rooney.
Nice positioning, and I like the slotted pass to put that back at the 6-yard box. You just wish you could get a little more on it.
Had so much spin on it, deflected off the head of Ficco and went backwards right toward the feet of, again, Olivia Karen Jennis.
And perhaps the reason for the lack of power on the shot was the mark that Lake Country had. Very tight mark on the defense. It was tough for Prairie just to be able to get a leg swing on it. And the inability to get the full leg swing was probably the difference of not having a goal.
See Melissa Rooney on the outside. She was a starter in that run of the state championship game in 2010. Throwing here in the 27th minute. Game scoreless here from Time Warner Cable Stadium, Uihlein Soccer Park in Milwaukee for the 30th edition of the WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament. A championship Saturday, the day that these teams mark down to their calendar when the schedule comes out.
Nice job by Swafford coming out and taking ownership of her box.
She is one of the 4 seniors for the Lightning. And the Prairie School, same thing. They only have 2 seniors. They have 6 juniors, but on their 17-player roster, 9 are underclassmen. Set up here for Margaret Tovar. Now here in the 28th minute, look at the way things have played out between the Lightning and the Hawks. Have you leaned one way or another as to who may have the advantage right now as far as possession, as far as the style of play?
Well, we're seeing in the last few minutes that Prairie is starting to get more looks there as we just get a shot on goal. And a lot of that starts with being able to keep the ball and hold the ball out wide. So we have close dribbles out wide, and then we slot balls in.
That last look for Melissa Rooney. Rooney had 5 shots yesterday, 3 of which were on goal, plus a couple of assists. Just the first 2 goals in the game, which again both came within the first 8 minutes and 37 seconds.
And that's sometimes a rarity to see that many opportunities for someone coming out of the defensive position. But your defenders will be able to make at least a couple of runs in a game and be unmarked. For Rooney, you know, that appears to be her forte, that she wants to get up. 5 shots is quite a bit for a defender.
Schnuck was trying to find Breck Hayward.
Yesterday in the semis, we had a real unique situation where in those early morning games, the referees made the decision to give a water break halfway through the periods. And what a unique situation to just gather your team together and make sure you're on the same page tactically, as well as, you know, if you want to make a slight change tactically, go to 3 forwards or try to play the ball through instead of knocking it back and then wide.
Saw that water break in 4 out of the 6 games. Ball sent out by Lainey Fickow. After a bad break for the Lightning, and Hawks are trying to take advantage.
So this is where Prairie School really hurt my team in the regional finals. They're very tenacious on their corner kicks. They had a midfielder crashing into the back post, winning balls out of the air.
They had 5 corner kicks yesterday. Here's Melissa Rooney. On the ground, covered up by Kelly Swafford. On that post, Karen Jennis.
And that one didn't look real threatening, but there again, a slight bounce on the turf. You have a defender on the near post who it's her duty to make sure that ball doesn't come in, and then Swafford's making the decision that she wants to come in and clean it up.
Schnuck among those 3 for the Lightning surrounding Swafford. And now with Mullane. Hayward dumping it downfield, but again, plenty of red all around for the Prairie School, led by Anna Geritag, who is that anchor in that defensive line. Annabelle Ware, Karen Jennis, Tovar will send out a play, a throw in here for the Prairie School.
Karen Jennis, a real nice move on the outside, just showing the ball wide from her body, and as the defender comes in, take a big dribble to get down the line.
Carpenter, and leaping in front was Ellen Tyler. Off the clear. I was kept alive that time by Megan Mullane, looking to spread the field out. Trying to get there, though, is Mueller, who got beat to the ball. Abby Carlson off the takeaway. Has snuck to her right side. Now Mueller trying to match her stride for stride. Carlson will slow it down and play it back. Razutek. And now Tyler. That's swung in by Carlson. And sent out by Mullane. We are scoreless here in the 32nd minute. ...2012 Division III State Championship game between Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Co-op and the Prairie School. A corner kick here in the 32nd minute off the right cleat for Abby Carlson. Schnuck got a piece of it and put off a very short hop by Becky Kahn. And again, some pressure in front. Dangerous play, but Kahn able to bring it in.
Credit Carlson with her tenacity, I'll say, to come and win a ball that it looked like Prairie was going to have, and out of that whole attack, they get a corner kick out of it. She serves a nice ball in, and it really gives Lake Country Lutheran one of their best chances. Let alone it woke up the crowd, right, as she came in and challenged that ball and just had the determination to win it. Like we mentioned yesterday in the semifinals, there's a certain amount of momentum in high school sports that the players can really feed off of, perhaps more than at any other level.
Ball flying over the head with Hannah Razutek right in front of the Lightning fan base. Going to stay with Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School. Razutek. And now Ellen Tyler. On the turn with Emily Howe. Has to go back after it. Now waits. A little short pass. Again, that's the Lightning style. These short passes to set up the attack is Schnuck. Slowed up by Carolyn Rooney. Leaving it now with Razutek. Again, out it comes to Carlson. Oncoming pressure coming over was Karen Jennings to help out and sent away by Carpenter. Knocked off the cleat of Wolf. Tovar goes outside with Breck Hayward.
I like that Tovar showed the step-over move on the defender. Not that it did much to free her up, but it's sort of a setup for later in the game.
Nice find, Emily Howe, but it got away from her after the pass from Jamie Schnuck. Tyler. Razutek. Up top, Carlson. Gets it away. Upper 90. Well, it's going to be caught before he can get that high and sail that far as Becky County will make the catch.
Really nice look by Carlson to bend that ball and put some air on it. Initially, with that many bodies near the box, you know that the view of the keeper is going to be obstructed and she'll get a late read on the shot.
So it's sent up by Christina Dudley, and then there's Carlson with the right foot. So count at 5'9", nice size between the posts. Time to jump perfectly, able to make the catch, keeping this a scoreless battle. 35th minute. Hayward. So throw it in for the Lightning. Actually give way now for the toss, and that was handled that time by Brianna Steyer. One of those four seniors. Megan Mullane. Howe. Over to Tovar. And now Schnuck. Schnuck tiptoeing that touch line, trying to get around the defense. That was Carolyn Rooney. That left for Abby Carlson. Back to Schnuck. Ellen Tyler. On the angle, back in by Megan Wolf. That's Karen Jennings to her left side. Wolf, 2-on-1 disadvantage. Ball's going to pick up some speed and roll out here in the 36th minute. We are scoreless in Milwaukee. '36th minute, 2012 Division III state championship game between Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Co-op and the Prairie School. The ball put back into play by the Lightning. Here's Karen Jennings. And back to her defensively is Lainey Fickow. Wolf. And ran into Mary Kirk defensively. You know, for a while we had a pretty good sequence. I would see the Prairie School apply pressure, getting opportunities, and then all of a sudden, saw some of the momentum swinging the direction of Lightning, and they were able to get a couple of chances off, and now back it goes on the attacking end for the Prairie School.
Absolutely. It's really a battle in the midfield right now. Whatever team wins the ball, if they elect to build a little bit of possession out of it, then they get their numbers up. So you see Lake Country holding the ball here, letting them stretch the field. And they're able to keep possession. The key about the possession is you can push your players up out of your defense, and it just gives you more of a number superiority.
Now, if you're able to get this game into halftime scoreless, looking at from both perspectives, what's your message at halftime?
For Prairie, you know, I think it's more about let's give ourselves a few more opportunities. It looks like we have more flair on offense, but let's use that to our advantage. We talked about the speed of Prairie. They haven't been really able to utilize that yet. For Lake Country, if I'm their coach, I would applaud their defensive efforts right now and also give them a pat on the back and encourage them offensively to go ahead and get the ball deeper into the box.
Razutek, how about that? The Lightning quick, and they take a 1-goal lead.
Putting pressure on the keeper. Go ahead and take those shots. And, right now Prairie seems to be falling back and trying to worry about Schnook, but it's the likes of the midfielders that are doing the job for them right now. So we had Ratusek taking a great shot minutes earlier. We had Carlson putting the pressure on, and that's what you're looking for, is become a dynamic offensive attack.
Well, so much for that halftime speech in a scoreless battle. So Hannah Razutek able to pick up goal number 7. Jamie Schnuck picking up the assist, her 5th point here in the state tournament. Checked it now 7th with the factor of the 3 goals in yesterday's semifinal. So a 1-goal lead for the Lightning, 37-30. Time of the goal. Carlson. Tyler going back to Carlson, getting in front of Carpenter, looking at another. It's going to deflect on in by the diving Becky Kahn.
Matt, I was so close to saying that anytime a goal is scored, be wary of the next couple of minutes, because a defense can be flat, or the team that got scored on can be dejected. And just like that, that's what we saw, was an opportunity to take a shot, and with a slight deflection and the keeper falling down, she couldn't reach out for that ball.
2 goals in a 42-second span, and the Lightning, I'll use it again, Lightning quick with those 2. A 2-goal advantage. That one for Abby Carlson, her 6th of the season.
Lightning goal scored by number 10, Abby Carlson.
All right, so let's change those halftime speeches.
Quickly.
For Lake Country, it's going to be, let's make sure we get our numbers back and that we're marked up and we don't commit to a ball unless we're certain we can win it. For Prairie, it's going to be, let's have a little bit of a sense of urgency and let's take some chances offensively.
Gertag on the corner. Knocked down was Allie Mueller. That ball's going to stay in the corner for the Prairie School here in the 39th, soon to be 40th minute. Anna Gertag, the 5'10 junior defender. Back out it comes towards Simons. Rooney. That was swung in, trying to find Megan Wolf. On the turn with Melissa Rooney. Trying to get in front of Hayward. And a foul against the freshman midfielder.
This is very dangerous because the defense needs to play it like a corner, but it's just wide enough that there is an angle to go ahead and bend the ball at the goal.
Gertag, heck of a strike, but he's going to fly across, trying to find on that back post the head of the leaping Allie Mueller. So in their first ever state tournament appearance, Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School going to halftime ahead of the Prairie School Hawks, who are looking to avoid an 0-for-4 in the state championship game. It's a 2-0 advantage after 40 minutes of play, thanks to 2 goals in a 42-second span. You're watching the 2012 Division III state championship game on Fox Sports Wisconsin. About to begin the second half in this Division III state championship game at Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School in their first ever state tournament appearance. On top of the Prairie School Hawks, 2-0 after 40 minutes of play. Matt Menzel with Eric Lieber again, and all it took was a 42-second span, but after close to 37-plus minutes of action, and Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School has the advantage.
Well, they did a great job of just enduring those opening minutes and making sure that Prairie School was off the board and not getting the quality looks on goal. So they did their job defensively, and then they picked their moments to go ahead and put pressure on the goal. And by putting their shots on frame, they're up 2 goals.
First one by Hannah Razutek 37-30 on in, and then Abby Carlson added another, again, 42 seconds later. For the Prairie School in their 4th state tournament appearance, looking to avoid the 0-4 in the championship game. They get the second half started. Annabelle Ware is back into the 11 for Coach Uihlein. The ball is sent back toward Anna Gertag. Did not see much of Ware in the direction of that first half.
Yeah, she had a little bit of a breather at the end, and she was off the field at the time that the goals were scored. Not that she's a defender and would have been able to stop those shots, but her ability to keep possession and try to help the offensive attack of Prairie, I think, may have hurt them. So.
Carlson. And now waiting back in was Breck Hayward. So far this one, following the same exact pattern, the script that we have seen throughout the course of the postseason. Too difficult to call. Tough to predict.
It is, and Prairie's going to need to be a little bit more offensive-minded here. They're going to need to perhaps get their midfield to play up as like a third forward, or just have the likes of Ware and Wolf and Karagenis, all three of them together in the offensive attack.
Tovar out of the Hawks. That was sent over the head of Kirsten Mackey. And now it goes back to what we had addressed in that first half with Lightning. Their staple has been their defense. Have that 2-goal advantage now. And Ellen Tyler to Schnuck on the one touch. Left it for Banduin, but the scoop up for Becky Kahn. Again, Banduin had it bounced by, but backing up defensively is Anna Gertag. Off there with Ellen Tyler. Banduin on the outside with Melissa Rooney. We had a sequence, too, in that first half where the Prairie School pretty much controlled about a 5-10 minute span. Able to test Kelly Swafford. A couple of corner kick opportunities, as you talked about earlier. This is a team that has been known to be very successful in the corner. Right now, it's the Lightning that have come out with opportunities, looking for a third. That's still rolling around, and finally corralled on in by Becky Kahn.
And that whole opportunity created by Ellen Tyler, her ability to just sort of put a little juke move on the dribble and create a shot. It gets deflected, and there's runners in the box.
Again, you had Carlson right there along with Shusha Banduin, but Kahn was able to corral it in. And now Schnuck against Carolyn Rooney. Schnuck going to the end line, cuts back in off the left cleat. Carlson try to lift it back out. It deflects off the forehead of Ellen Tyler, but slowed up there by Abby Fiegel into the lineup.
And this second half has sort of the feel of the start of the game, where both teams trying to get a sense of who's going to get the next goal, who's going to change the momentum of this game. You know, if Lake Country can get a third one here, you'd probably feel really good about your chances. And Prairie, if you can get a goal in the next 10, 15 minutes,
changes everything.
Absolutely. You're going to be able to settle down and swing the momentum.
We saw that one of our D1 semifinals last night, in which the Pier was able to jump in front by a couple of goals. All of a sudden, Kenosha Tremper got that one, and next thing you know, just dominated the finale of that contest. Still lost by a goal, but came within inches of finding the equalizer.
And that's so exhausting mentally and physically for a defense to be on your heels for essentially an entire half, trying to prevent that one goal or sit on that one goal lead.
On the turn now with Mackey. Gets by Hayward. Mackey. And the high kick there with Annabelle Ware. So a setup here in the 45th minute for Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School. Again, they came in number 2 in the final D3 state rankings. The Prairie School number 4 in the final D3 state rankings. D3, D2 as far as the rankings go. Some of those teams fared real well in Division 1, not so much. Not a single top 10 team in the semifinal round. They only had 2 that qualified for state, and they were both gone by Thursday. So Jamie Schnuck will throw it in here in the 46th minute. And now with Carlson, Schnuck. That's off her head, battling with Fiegel. Lifted by Rooney. And now with Dudley. Schnuck looking for it. Gives way as goes back her direction, try to scoot it downfield. Off the bad bounce from Mackey. Carlson. Again, that's left 4. Margaret Tovar looking to wind up. That's off the side of her cleat. Ball sent out. We were in the 46th minute. 2-goal lead for the Lightning. 2012 Division III state championship game here in the 46th minute from Time Warner Cable Stadium, Uihlein Soccer Park in Milwaukee. Right now, the Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Lightning on top of the Prairie School. 2-0 behind 2 goals scored in a 42-second span. Throwing for Carolyn Rooney. Tovar. And again, being flanked by a pair, and now it's Annabelle Ware. Opening up the field a little bit, but Rooney getting knocked down. Ball sent out, and defense will set up for the Lightning.
Those are the types of passes that Prairie needs to make. You're able to find your forward making a run to the top of the box, and they have inside position, so they're going to be able to shield the defender off their back and create a shot.
You saw that was Rooney and Razutek who collided. And now with Gertag now off the cleat of Dudley, and moving forward is Mullane. Back there for the Prairie School, Anna Gertag. Gabrielle Simons getting the start here in the second half. Rooney just did deflect off the cleat with Abby Fiegel. Gonna stay in now. It's aided out by Megan Mullane. Have you seen the Lightning do anything differently right now, knowing that they have this 2-goal lead? Have they dropped anybody back? Have they approached this second half differently?
I haven't noticed a different approach, but I am impressed with the hustle and the pressure that they put on to try to win balls back. Whether it's Simons up top pressuring the defenders, or Carlson or Tolver getting back to clog up the middle in the defense.
It's a nice job, though, coming out of halftime. Creating some chances, as you mentioned, trying to add to this 2-goal advantage. Mackey. That off of Breck Hayward. So throwing for Kirsten Mackey. That's sent up and off the head with Megan Wolf. She's been well marked in this game. Not so much yesterday, and she was really able to help again control that offense, jumpstart the offense. That has scored well over 95 times coming in. A team that typically averages about 5 goals a game. And right now they are being shut out. They had never been shut out this season. Schnuck against Carolyn Rooney. Schnuck. Again, trying to go right back toward Tovar. Tovar off of Hannah Carpenter.
We're seeing Schnuck hold the ball and the defender more than willing to just contain. I think the fear is if you come in too closely on Schnuck, she's going to blow by you with a wide touch and be able to get inside. So Prairie content with just trying to contain.
Again, the Zephyrs yesterday found that out the hard way. Carpenter. Back out it comes, and the Lightning with Abby Carlson. Her goal, the second on this game, the 6th for the sophomore this year. Simons hitting the turf hard. Upfield by Mullane. Sent away again. They keep Fickout back there. Schnuck. Now Carolyn Rooney. Carpenter. Following a play on Carlson. Schnuck. Now Ellen Tyler. Has an option to her left as Tyler will look for the bend, but didn't bend enough. That Schnuck cutting down that middle.
I like Tyler's willingness to get offensive. She took some bigger dribbles to try and bring herself forward, but then one of her touches takes her wider outside and makes the angle a little tougher. As that ball is getting away from her, the key is to just really make sure that you're able to slant your plant foot further to the far post, and that'll ensure that your ball's on target.
Yeah, Dudley and Anna Gertag there defensively to cut off that angle. And now you have Fickout, who is protecting Kelly Swafford for the easy pickup.
You notice sort of a communication breakdown between Swafford and her defender of, is this your ball or mine? But Prairie didn't have any forwards in that attack to try and make life difficult.
Carlson. Again, it's Simons breaking for the ball. Again in front defensively is Mullane. For the Hawks, Melissa Rooney. Megan Wolf was trying to cut in there against Brianna Steyer. Nice feed for Ware. Cuts back in on Kirk, and now blows by another. A breakaway opportunity. Annabelle Ware putting the Hawks on the scoreboard.
Annabelle Ware's ability to change direction with the ball and just have total control of her ball. She knows where she wants to go, when the defender is going to overcommit on her. What great poise to do it, not just to one, but two defenders. And then to slot home that pass that we talked about. She's not blasting that ball or even missing the frame. She knows right where she wants to place it for the goal.
Well, that's about as pretty of an individual effort as you will see. Annabelle Ware. Third goal now here at State, 36th of the season. Boy, about as pretty as they come. Able to switch directions and a snap of the finger, getting by two, and then one-on-one against Kelly Swafford.
And so here again, we look for what happens after a goal like this. Does it break down the spirit of the Lake Country defense? Does it bring a little bit more energy to the Prairie attack? Are they going to open things up, or are they able to settle down and play their game? That was the style of attack that Prairie had been so successful with, the diagonal pass and the ability to get Ware the ball near the top of the box.
Rooney, and now Kirsten Mackey. Mackey and Hayward. Carpenter, again. That time looking for Ware, but instead here's Wolf. Gets it through off the right cleat through two, but Swafford no problem scoop it.
Prairie's feeling it right now. You can see that the offense, the players are making the necessary runs off the ball, and as a shot is about to be made, they're trying to get extra bodies in that box for any kind of rebound.
Carpenter with Anna Gertag. Certainly a different situation to be in for the Prairie School, playing from behind after jumping in front throughout the course of the postseason. As far as deficits go, let's go all the way back to a 2-1 overtime loss against Champaign Centennial out of Illinois, for this team having to play comeback, and from a multi-goal deficit, you have to go back game before that against a team out of Rockford, Illinois. We're talking first couple of weeks into the season, but they will get won by Annabelle Ware. And back in this here in the 55th minute. Kara Jenis against Mary Hurt. Hawks have certainly made some nice moves in getting around defenders, but here's the takeaway with Ellen Tyler. That's redirected by Melissa Rooney.
Tyler, though, playing a very nice role for Lake Country, being able to, again, create that attack. And though she didn't have a great shot, here you go. By taking that shot, you're going to set your team up with a corner kick, which is a much more dangerous opportunity. Sort of a different style of dribble. We see Ware for Prairie, who wants to cut with the ball, and we're seeing Tyler, who wants to go more straightforward and keep the ball on her right foot.
Off that lightning corner kick by Carlson, so swing it in. It came back out of route by way of Schnuck. Hawks clear. Annabelle Ware. Again, the lead feed. Kara Jenis tripped up from behind. 56th minute, set up here for the Prairie School, and they quickly put it back into play. Carpenter headed up over the head of Wolf, right to Mackey, sent away by Hayward.
That's the benefit of having a quick restart, is you can get the ball deep into that attacking third and look for the cross where your player is going to be able to get inside positioning.
Now Tyler on the counter. One hop into the hands of their starting keeper, Becky Kahn. Mackey cuts inward on Hayward, trying to keep it from going out, and now it is. Here in the 57th minute, a 2-1 advantage. The quick toss, and again, the Prairie School in that hurry-up mode down the goal here with about 24 minutes to go. Karen Jenis. The clear coming right back out toward Megan Mullane. Watch out for Simons. Again, Garrett attack to elude Simons. Mullane. Annabelle Ware. This time was knocked away by Mary Kirk. Another throw in here for Olivia Kara Jenis. Wolf. Again sent out, 58th minute. It's 2-1 Lightning. D3 state championship game here in 2010. 10th year of Division III, and there will be a 7th different Division III state champion among those 10 years here this afternoon, as one of these two teams will pick up their first state championship. The Prairie School against Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School. Lightning able to take a 2-goal lead right before halftime, but the Hawks have come back here in the second half. Annabelle Ware bringing the Prairie School back to within a goal.
17, Danielle Sales replacing 3, Breck Hayward.
A look at Jamie Schnuck. Pick up an assist on one of those 2 Lightning goals. That gives her 7 points so far in the 2 days of the tournament on the Division III side. That takes a big hop over the head of Ware. Schnuck. And for the Prairie School, Carolyn Rooney. Kind of hear it in the background in the Nat Sound mics, the wind picking up. Gusty morning here from Time Warner Cable Stadium, Uihlein Soccer Park.
And though it's supposed to be a warmer day today, it's a bit overcast, and I think that does help the likes of Lake Country, who doesn't have the deeper bench like Prairie does. Gives their players just a little bit more energy to endure the full game.
Well, here's Melissa Rooney. Back out with Carolyn Rooney. Around Carlson, who's been out there since the start. Schnuck. And upfield for Annabelle Ware. Annabelle Ware Off the left cleat. Mackey. That was blocked by Danielle Sales. Right to Carpenter. One hop and Kelly Spofford keep it in front, and you always get a little nervous. Have to believe as a goalkeeper just to see how high that ball bounces off that turf as you get ready to bring it in.
Absolutely, and that's where height helps as a goalkeeper. Swafford, 5'8", which not a giant, but in girls athletics for the keeper, that's more than enough. You just have to be able to position yourself well, and she did that.
We saw her get surprised a little bit in the first half, but no problem there as see some of the water being taken in right now. Just again trying to stay hydrated still, even with the overcast skies. A warm day for this Division III championship game. Carpenter. Nice find, but Wolf right in to Lainey Feckow. As Wolf went down, recovered by the Hawks, but there's Kelly Swafford.
Swafford getting as much of her body behind the ball, which is one of the cardinal rules for goalkeeping. Difficult angle of knowing how she wanted to smother that ball, but the key was she makes the save.
Kara Jenis. A foul, so the restart here for Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Co-op. The Uihlein has the ball being set up here by Margaret Tovar. Team that got used to the turf certainly with yesterday's showing, but also played here earlier this season on this field against Whitefish Bay Dominican. I now have been on defense for the last number of minutes. But here's Alan Tyler looking to set up the attack. Over to Schnuck. Another short pass will go back to Tyler, but played back instead. And now Carpenter on the wing for Karen Jenis. That's going to be sent out. 62nd minute, a 2-1 lead for the Lightning. ...2012 Division III State Championship game from Time Warner Cable Stadium at the Uihlein Soccer Park. We're in the 62nd minute, and right now the Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Lightning in their maiden voyage to state. On top of the Prairie School Hawks, who are looking to avoid the 0-4 in-state championship games. They've been to state 4 times. They have come up on the short end in 2003, 4, and 10. Tovar, and now Schnuck. Carolyn Rooney. Gertag. Karen Jenis.
As Prairie starts this attack here, Tovar got caught, pushed up in an offensive attack, and they weren't able to keep the ball. Now Prairie attacking with fairly close to even numbers, and they have a runner on the far post waiting.
Karen Jenis, centering feed, try to find Wolf. Kept alive by Mullane. Leaves it back, but a short pass is knocked away by Simons.
Simons likes her right foot. I think the key is going to be able to try. She elected to go up the middle, but she had a lot of space to just go deep and hold the ball for runners to get in.
Simons waits. Carlson. Knocked away. Back out it comes to Megan Wolf. And now Ware. Through traffic, try to connect with Wolf. She comes back to it. Nice job to play the ball after Brianna Steyer got in her path. Annabelle Ware. And now Carpenter. Kara Jenis. Cuts back on the outside. Not budging is Razutek, but Karen Jenis trying to get around Razutek. Now has the spacing. Now the send away thanks to Margaret Tovar.
We saw Razutek challenge the ball 3 times there, and give her the credit of not giving up on the play and not forcing your supporting defenders to come in and clean up the mess that you've left. She found ways to battle back and pressure that ball.
Sent away before Melissa Rooney could recover.
Right now it seems like Lake Country is just trying to catch their breath, right? They're sending balls down or not able to keep the possession, and Prairie's knocking on the door. We need Lake Country to try and build the possession that they had for minutes in the first half.
Right now the Lightning trying to get at least one fresh body into the game. Looking at their bench right now, they have just 2 standing now, third with the latest substitution. There is a 4th player over there, but sitting down next to the team bench area. And then in comparison to about 6 reserves for the Prairie School. Annabelle Ware trying to go right back toward Megan Wolf. That's been a focal point. 66th minute. It's a 2-1 game. Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School able to get a goal from Hannah Razutek, 37-30 out in. 42 seconds later, it was Abby Carlson giving the Lightning a 2-goal advantage before Annabelle Ware. 11:51 at a halftime, putting the Hawks on the scoreboard. Carpenter, and now Melissa Rooney. That was knocked away for a second by Ellen Tyler. Pesky presence. Now Mueller on back with Mullane. Simons coming over to help out was Anna Geritag, but tugging to the jersey, and a foul is going to go against the Hawks.
We've seen in the last couple of minutes, too, a bit more of a breeze on those corner flags. You're going to see them blowing to the north, and that's an advantage for Lake Country, especially if you can get a free kick in just a little closer to the goal or perhaps a corner kick.
And now Tovar. As you mentioned, trying to get the aid of the wind. Trying to find Schnuck.
Substitution.
There's a look at the flag overhead.
Emily Howe replacing 28. Gabrielle.
Tell our camera guy to be careful.
We don't want him blowing over the edge.
She was hanging out for dear life up there. Anna Geritag. Out the push. Another setup for Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School.
So this distance is the dangerous kick that we're talking about with a little bit of wind. The keeper's not quite sure how this ball is going to be played in. Is it a ball that you want to put just over the defense, or is it going to be more of a direct shot?
Jamie Schnuck. Trying to find it for the Hawks was Allie Mueller. Kicking it out was Danielle Sales.
Not the service on the free kick I was looking for. I would think they would try to play a ball a little bit more over the top of the defense and perhaps to the far post so that you can then cut back and have the whole goal to be looking at.
Sent upfield thanks to Geritag and Mueller as well, and that one's going to deflect out. Following the collision, which would see stepping up defensively, Lainey Fickow. Swung in by Melissa Rooney. Karen Jennis. Anna Geritag with Jamie Schnuck. Again, Karen Jennis now a defensive approach with Mary Hurt. Trying to find options. Karen Jennis will send it out here in the 69th minute. And coming over for the Lightning is Mary Kirk as they again go back to that bench. Right now you have Gabrielle Simons. You can see her taking in some water. She is bench area for the Lightning. She's had some great runs offensively in this game. And back it comes toward the feet of Tovar.
And some of those runs for the Lightning are not runs being made for the ball, but rather runs being made to pressure the defenders. And out of those situations, they're getting throw-ins and free kicks when legs are getting tangled.
Back in Margaret Tovar. Again with Megan Mullane. Carlson unable to come up with it. Wolf and beat with Brianna Steyer. Anna Gertag. Mueller. Now the Lightning, that deflecting, getting off the knees of Mueller after the turn by Hannah Razutek, who will toss it in. Mueller again got a cleat on it. Schnuck right there. Further down the wing, trying to connect again with Razutek, but over to Anna Gertag.
Good communication on Prairie's part defensively to be talking, and we're seeing the spacing of these passes.
Schnuck. 70th minute. The Lightning trying to throw it in Ellen Tyler. Gertag will send it out. 2-1 Lightning. Jamie Schnuck on the throw into the D3 state championship game. Rolls on here in 2012. Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School in their first ever state tournament appearance. The inside of 10 minutes of the 2012 championship. Trying to hold off the Prairie School, who has been in this championship game 4 times, most recently in 2010, and have come up on the short end every time. Jamie Schnuck, a difference maker throughout the course of the weekend with 7 points to her credit, including the golden goal yesterday that advanced the team to the championship.
She's doing a lot behind the scenes today for Lake Country Lutheran, shielding balls and trying to set up her teammates, and she hasn't had a lot of looks herself on goal. I just get a sense that there's one more strong attack waiting for both teams, and it's a matter of who converts theirs and who doesn't.
Corner kick for Abby Carlson. Only a couple of corner kicks all day yesterday for the Lightning. Nice side ball, but coming out is Becky Kahn to bring it in. And goalkeeping, a huge question mark coming in for the Prairie School. Becky Kahn has been outstanding in between the posts. Is only a sophomore.
Kahn having that great goalkeeper name. There was a stud of a goalkeeper for the Germany men's team for a number of years, and she did a great job of winning that ball out of the air. We mentioned the wind picking up and how dangerous that could be on a corner kick attack, and there she was taking charge of her box.
So again, right now, the Lightning have the 8 of the win on their backside. Schnuck, just enough spacing. 3-1 Lightning.
And just like that, we talked about Schnuck and when is she going to emerge and give her team that one more opportunity in these final minutes of the game. She did a great job of using her body to shield the defender off, and then she sized up her shot. Left-footed ball, she keeps it low and out of the hands of Kahn.
Well, if it wasn't for one of your former players, Schnuck would be number 1 as far as points in a tournament. She now has 9. The record is 14 set by Ashley Bars once upon a time at Ozaki in 2005 when she had a 7-goal performance. It's just that was in a game situation, but as far as the overall tournament goes, Bars was 16 that same season with an 8-goal performance, which included the game winner the very next day against Aquinas.
Yeah, and in that Aquinas championship game, Ashley scored a goal in the second half in the first minute of play, only to have it waved off for clearing a player off with her arms. She's playing professionally now in Iceland, doing a lot of those same moves, still very aggressive to the goal. Very special player.
I say, you do realize that record's probably not going to be broken. That's hard to do. 14 in one game?
Absolutely.
Almost near impossible. She had 7 that season in the semifinal, 7 goals against St. Mary's Central. Annabelle Ware on the back, out on that outside with Margaret Tovar. 74th minute, a 3-1 lead for the Lightning. Karen Jennis, Schnuck. Outfield by Carlson, but there's Allie Mueller. Turning around was Hannah Razuchek. Wolf. She was falling down. Annabelle Ware. She got sandwiched and draws the foul. Coming to help out for the Lightning was Mary Kirk along with Mary Hurt. Kirk and Hurt on the sandwich, and this all coming right here of Annabelle Ware.
Prairie electing to play a short, quick ball on their free kick, and they get a shot on goal. Somewhat of a surprise that they wouldn't elect to get something into the box a little bit more directly, but sometimes that little short pass can change the angle of how that ball's coming in.
Just an impressive showing so far as Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School. They have a combined enrollment about 250 is what the school is credited with. And here they are within 6 minutes of their 2012 D3 state championship. After a come-from-behind battle against an experienced St. Mary's Central program.
And I see them doing it as a team. They're, again, the supportive defense of Carlson to come in and help as Wolf was trying to get by her girl. We saw Tolver with her back to the play, but running with the far mark, so that wasn't an option either. They're getting their bodies back.
And up by her teammates is Lainey Fickoff after she took a hard hit. Took that out. Megan Wolf. The stats certainly reflect that too. When you look up and down, there isn't one player that necessarily stands out with real attractive numbers, but it's been that collective effort.
And when you take a look at shots on goal, they've had shots from Carlson and Tyler and Schnook, and they're really spreading it around.
Tyler off of Mueller. Now into the corner. As the Lightning with a change.
To the Lightning lineup, 3, Brock Hayward replacing
Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School. You're feeling real good right here in the 76th minute. Ball in your corner, up a pair with Abby Carlson. Be down to 4 minutes by the time this ball is put back into play. Back out her route. Carlson again, and Wolf keeps it in, well, did. And now with Brock Hayward.
Going back to that 2005 game where Ashley Barr scored for our team to win the championship, it was a game that we dominated a lot of possession of, and yet it was a one-goal game. And to sit on a one-goal lead is very agonizing for a coach. Here for Lake Country to be up 2, there's a sense of breath and comfort. But on one goal, it's not over until it's over.
Well, I remember serves me correctly, and that was 7 years ago. But that goal came early in that first half, within the first minute or two.
Yep. We found a slotted pass. Ashley got a ball from her sister Brittany in the midfield, and she knew how to shield the defenders off using her arms well, and scored early. And we thought, the route is on, we're ready, we're pumped, and one goal is all we got out of that game.
Guys are playing a talented Aquinas program. Well, again, just misqualifying for state thanks to the Lightning, who were able to take care of business in the sectional final 4-2. Simons again swung away here in the 78th minute. Winning back is Schnuck against Hannah Carpenter. And a little push there by Schnuck, and the Prairie School Hawks with the restart. They were down 2-0 in a 42-second span right before halftime, able to cut the deficit in half. But a goal that was scored in the 72nd minute by Jamie Schnuck, giving the Lightning the insurance goal. And now Simons. That was blocked. Back comes to the feet of Christina Dudley. Wolf trying to angle back in on Brianna Steyer. That was played back by Steyer. Sent downfield. Inside of 2 minutes. What a first state tournament appearance for Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Lightning.
And just so impressive to be able to do that with a short bench. It reminds me of the movie that gets referred to a lot, Hoosiers, where at one point the coach is willing to play with 4 players on the field, and I'm sure Lake Country would do the same if they needed to. But credit their players with the ability to play a full game and just challenge ball after ball.
Again, that's what's remarkable about this story, is that there were games they did not have enough players to finish with 11 on the field. And now here they are, a month and a half later, a minute away from the Gold Soccer Bowl. Block was Annabelle Ware. Inside of 50 seconds. It starts to rain here in Milwaukee. Certainly not going to rain on the Lightning's parade. Inside of 40 seconds. Carpenter. Now Dudley. Gertag. And right there is Kelly Swafford. Final 15 seconds. Has the Lightning faithful on their feet. Swafford on the drop kick. Final seconds ticking down.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
The Lightning have struck gold. They are the 2012 Division III state champions.
And that is your Division III championship with the final score. Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School 3, the Prairie School 1.
An unbelievable story with Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School, first ever state tournament appearance. They come from behind yesterday. They knock off St. Mary's Central in overtime, and today able to get 2 in a 42-second span, and they hang on and knock off the Prairie School Hawks 3-1 to bring home the 2012 D3 state title.
Please do not exit through the press box gate.
For the Hawks, 4 state tournament appearances, their 4th runner-up finish, as this day belongs to the Lightning. The game-winning goal credited to Abby Carlson, the sophomore midfielder, who gave the team a 2-goal lead, 38-12 on it. Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School, your 2012 D3 state champs. You're watching the 30th annual WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Today's WIAA event is brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. You can change the future by driving safely in Wisconsin. Help turn over 500 annual deaths into 0. 0 in Wisconsin, a vision we can all live with. Rural Mutual Insurance, proud sponsor of the WIAA Sportsmanship Award. Citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. That's the WIAA Rural Insurance Sportsmanship Award.
Welcome back to Time Warner Cable Stadium with Uihlein Soccer Park in Milwaukee. Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School Co-op, first state tournament appearance. They bring home their first ever state championship as they knock off the Prairie School Hawks by a 3-1 score. Thanks in large part to the play of Jamie Schnuck, our player of this one, coming through now with 4 goals in 2 days plus an assist, a 9-point tournament. Moments ago we had the opportunity to catch up with the senior. All right, being joined by Jamie Schnuck as the Lightning are state champs here in 2012. You had a big game yesterday. Let's start by talking about that semifinal. You had the golden goal in overtime. Describe that goal.
That goal, we just came into that knowing that whoever scored first won. So, we didn't want to go into those 10 minutes. We didn't want to go to the next 10 minutes. We just want to get it over. So I remember I got a ball played back to the sweeper. She just kind of bobbled it enough that I could run onto it and just hit it into the corner. And that was surreal. This is surreal. Being here has been the coolest experience.
Yeah, your first ever state tournament appearance, now the first ever state championship.
Yeah.
What was the feeling like getting up this morning going into the championship game? Were you nervous or was it more of excitement?
I'm not going to lie, I was really nervous. My stomach was funny all morning, but we got here and kind of it just set in that this is another game. We've done this, we've earned our right to be here. So then it was kind of I got that pumped up feeling. So.
And then able to score 2 goals to the team within 42 seconds. You guys were up a pair by halftime. What was the mood like at the break?
That just was the biggest game changer. Going from 0 to 0 to 0-2, like that momentum brought us into the second half, and I think that just set us up for, we got this, and we had that mentality.
I know this program has been on the map. Last year, #1 seed in the playoffs. Unfortunately, an upset taking place. Did you ever envision, though, that you'd be standing right here wearing that gold medal?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, coming into the season we had 12 players at the beginning of the season, and who would have thought that we were going to be the state champions?
Well, congratulations. Go celebrate.
Thank you so much.
All right, so the Lightning are state champs here in 2012. Eric, your final thoughts on this D3 title game?
Just a very impressive effort for Lake Country Lutheran University Lake from start to finish, from the back to the front. It was a total team effort. They got lots of attack from their midfield and their forwards, and their defense found a way to shut down a Prairie school roster that was very impressive with their ability to score.
Lightning with their 6th consecutive win to wrap up their season at 21-2. The Prairie School, a runner-up finish for the 4th time in 4 state tournament appearances. Their season coming to a close at 17-5-1. On behalf of our entire crew, from my broadcast partner Eric Liebergen, we say so long from Milwaukee, where once again the final score sees Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School knock off the Prairie School 3-1 for the 2012 Division III State Championship. You've been watching continuing coverage of the 30th Annual WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Will Coach Corey receive your individual medal? Kelly Swafford. Brett Hayward. Susha Bandoin. Abby Carlson. Margaret Tovar. Mary Hurt. Ellen Tyler. Mary Kirk. Brianna Steyer. Danielle Sales. Anna Rozuta. Lainey Fickow. Emily Howe. Jamie Schnuck. Gabrielle Simons. Will Coach Jeremy Hedrick of Lake Country Lutheran University Lake School please come forward to receive the team trophy? Congratulations to all our teams! And we thank you for sharing in this award ceremony. Once again, for those fans who will be leaving the stadium with the conclusion of this game, we please ask you to exit through the gates in the north corners up at the top of the hill.